On the 5th of June 1944, Lieutenant Richard Winters boarded a C-47 Skytrain as jumpmaster of his stick. At 10:23 p.m., the aircraft lifted off, carrying his men toward Normandy. As the formation encountered intense anti-aircraft fire shortly after midnight, the green light signaled the jump. Moments after leaving the aircraft, the force of the propeller wash tore away Winters' equipment bag and his M1 rifle, leaving him armed only with a knife tucked into his boot. After landing, Winters gathered scattered paratroopers, including Staff Sergeant Carwood Lipton, and used a map to orient himself. He then moved towards Saint-Marie-du-Mont and Causeway No. 2. At around 6 a.m., he linked up with elements of the 2nd Battalion staff. Roughly 2 hours later, he was ordered to eliminate a battery of 4 105mm guns at Brecourt Manor that was firing on troops landing at Utah Beach. Selecting just 12 men, Winters organized the assault. Using machine guns and supporting positions to provide covering fire, he led an attack that systematically knocked out all 4 artillery pieces. The action at Brecourt Manor has since become one of the most studied examples of small unit tactics in military history. Several participants received decorations for their bravery. Winters was originally nominated for the Medal of Honor, but the recommendation was reduced to the Distinguished Service Cross because of a policy limiting the number of Medals of Honor awarded during the Normandy campaign. On the 12th of June, the 506th was ordered into the fighting around Carentan. The 2nd Battalion was tasked with securing the southern road out of the town and preventing German forces from escaping. When Easy Company became pinned down by heavy machine gun fire, Winters moved to the front and personally encouraged his men to continue the advance. During the battle, he suffered a minor wound to his shin from a ricocheting fragment and later received the Purple Heart. Despite difficult fighting and delays among neighboring units, Carentan was secured on the 13th of June. Easy Company left the front lines on the 29th of June, and 2 days later Winters was promoted to captain. Because Easy Company's original command element remained missing after D-Day, he was officially appointed company commander. The regiment returned to Aldbourne on the 12th of July. On the 17th of September, Winters parachuted into the Netherlands during Operation Market Garden, landing north of Eindhoven. He led Easy Company through the liberation of Eindhoven, the defense of Uden, and operations against German infiltration attempts. On the 9th of October, he became executive officer of the 2nd Battalion. After 70 continuous days in combat, the 506th was finally relieved on the 25th of November. Following a short rest in France, the regiment was rushed to Bastogne, Belgium, on the 19th of December during the Battle of the Bulge. Winters and the 2nd Battalion established defensive positions in the Bois Jacques near Foy. Ordered to hold the line at all costs, the battalion endured freezing temperatures, relentless artillery fire, and constant pressure from German attacks. Colonel Robert Strayer entrusted much of the battalion's daily tactical leadership to Winters. Though exhausted physically and mentally, the men maintained their positions and repeatedly repelled enemy advances. On January 12, 1945, the battalion launched an assault on Foy. After capturing the village, they continued advancing toward Neuville. Winters carefully used terrain to shield his troops, placing them in position for further attacks. During the night, however, German forces withdrew, allowing the battalion to continue through nearby villages with little resistance. 5 days later, the 101st Airborne was finally withdrawn from the front. Before reaching the rear areas, the division was redirected to Alsace to counter another German offensive. The 506th established defensive positions along the Moder River and later occupied the town of Hagenau. After several weeks, the regiment was relieved and returned to reserve status. In March 1945, Winters was promoted to major and given command of the 2nd Battalion. Around the same period, General Dwight D. Eisenhower presented the 101st Airborne Division with the Presidential Unit Citation for its actions during the Battle of the Bulge. On the 1st of April, the battalion moved into defensive positions in the Ruhr Pocket. Later that month, while operating near Buchloe, patrols from Easy Company discovered the Landsberg concentration camp. The guards had attempted to murder as many prisoners as possible before fleeing. Witnessing the camp left a profound impression on Winters, who later reflected that he finally understood the true purpose of the war. The next day, Adolf Hitler committed suicide. On the 5th of May, Colonel Robert Sink ordered the battalion to capture Berchtesgaden, a location closely associated with the Nazi leadership. After securing regimental headquarters there, Winters directed Easy Company to seize Hitler's mountaintop retreat, the Eagle's Nest. 3 days later, on May 8, 1945, the news he had waited years to hear arrived. The war in Europe had ended. Thanks for watching part 2 of the Richard Winters bio. Keep a lookout for part 3. If you have a thought, drop it in a comment below. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe.